What's up, Timberwolves fans? It's HaTim. This is episode number 2 of the HaTimberwolves podcast against the Memphis Grizzlies preseason game number 1. Let's go! So a few things I was looking forward to into this preseason game was our offensive style going to look great? How's Anthony Edwards going to look? Was our defense going to look any different than last year? Some things that stuck out to me about our offense was that we were able to push the ball and commit to playing pretty fast. So whatever offensive system we were in, whatever sets we were running, ISO or not, moving the ball around, whatever plays, I think we had one for Anthony Edwards in the corner. In general, all our play calls were able to generate open three-point shots. One reason that we lost the game, we just weren't able to knock them down, which is okay though. At the very least, we were able to generate some open shots. I thought it was weird that in the first half, Karl-Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell weren't really playing together. We may have seen just one pick and roll between the both of them. Thankfully, in the second half, they came out and ran like 10 pick and rolls in a row. We saw it just open up a ton of options, not only for them, but for others. Although I will say that D'Lo wasn't finding Cat when he was wide open, but they just started playing together. They only played once together last year against Toronto. It'll take some adjustment. We have some potential there. As far as our offensive style is concerned, I'm not too worried. We were playing pretty fast and we looked pretty good. Defensively, I did not think we looked very good. They owned our paint, 54 points in the paint. Towns did not play very good. Not only did Towns play poor defense when he was put in a pick and roll scenario, but also in general just holding down the paint for everyone. Cat has always been good at going over to the weak side and helping defensively there, but I don't think he's been that great at help side D or pick and roll defense, which is something I hope that he improves on this season. But maybe I'm being a little too harsh on Cat because no one looked good in pick and roll defense. We got torn apart in every pick and roll. Initially, when I was watching, I thought our pick and roll defense looked bad just because Ja Morant was the person, but no. From the first guy on their squad until the last guy on their bench, I thought they were able to execute all pick and rolls and have no issues. Again, 54 points in the paint. Just seems like we still have problems getting over screens, which has been something I've been complaining about since the Flip and Thibs era. So hoping we can get better on that. I'm sure Saunders sees it too. Let's talk about some Timberwolves who looked good today. I thought D'Lo looked good. He made some difficult shots. I wish we could have seen a little bit more from him as far as distributing, but overall he played very well. I'm just excited we have a guard who's offensive minded. Not in the way that Jeff Teague is, but D'Lo not only likes to distribute, he also takes his time and he chooses to pass the ball when people are open. I think this is turning into me complaining more about Teague than having D'Lo, but I'm just excited we have a guard with a huge offensive bag. I thought Rubio looked good, looked a little bit sloppy, but that's probably because he hasn't built enough chemistry with the team since he has a handful of unpredictable passes. He was able to pass the ball quite well, and we were able to see Rubio and D'Lo play together. I thought they looked great. It was this awesome balance of Rubio setting everyone up and D'Lo just being able to go out and score. Also, I know I said this in the last podcast, but being able to actually see Rubio in a Wolves jersey and score some high difficulty shots around the paint and knock down some open three-pointers was refreshing to see. Ricky, I love you. I thought Layman and Beasley played well today. Not only did they knock down threes around the arc, but they cut to the basket and people were able to find them and they were able to finish. They also both pushed the ball up the floor to try and score, which was awesome. Lastly, both of them were jumping in for every single rebound. Just excited to see whether we see more of this throughout the season. Someone who I thought played well today was Jarrett Culver. He also looked bad, but I want to highlight something that he improved on from last year to this year. Last year, if you remember, he had an ugly hitch in his shot. If you saw him today, his shot looked smooth and it was one motion and it looked pretty, just butter. I'm just happy from last year how he saw there was something he really needed to work on and he actually put in the work and it looks completely different now. Now for who looked bad today, we'll start with Culver again. Boy, he looked out of control. Despite his good offensive finishes, I really don't think he was able to assert himself offensively or defensively, which is something I thought he did quite a good job of last year was defense. Again, it was just one preseason game, so it's not like he's going to play like this forever, but I didn't think he played too well. Josh Okogie also didn't play very well. He wasn't able to score a bucket. He had a handful of turnovers. He played pretty sloppy. No excuse for having 0 points and however many turnovers he had, but still, maybe it's an adjustment kind of thing. Juancho, the guy we signed to 3 years, $21 million, didn't look that great either. Went 0 for 4 from the three-point line, got blocked a handful of times, had a couple of good finishes in the paint, but for the most part, I just want to see that he's a consistent shooter. Again, just something that happened today. Hopefully we don't see it as a consistent problem. But speaking of consistent problems, Karl-Anthony Towns' defense did not look very good today. He was getting eaten up alive by Jonas Valanciunas. No disrespect to Jonas, I just expect more out of Cat. In general, on pick and rolls or any sort of help defense, I don't think Cat has ever done that great of a job, and today we saw a little bit more of that. Lastly, Anthony Edwards, something I said I would touch on. Something I was looking forward to with Anthony Edwards was his athleticism and the way he could attack the rim. Two things that we did not get to see showcased today. He was kind of slowly jogging up and down the court. We never really saw him at full speed. Again, we have so much of the season left. I just wanted to see that from him. Something that was awesome to notice about his game was just whenever he went up for rebounds, any small glimpse we got of his athleticism, it looked completely effortless. A couple of players who just didn't get enough time or we didn't get to see enough of them was Ed Davis, Jared Vanderbilt, and Rondae Hollis-Jefferson. I think all three of them weren't able to get their footing in the game. We also didn't get to see much of them. I think maybe once or twice I saw Rondae Hollis-Jefferson have a good pass, or Vanderbilt did too. All three of these guys, I'm just excited to see how they can contribute to helping out our team. As far as other new faces, in the fourth quarter of the game, we had 3 people on 2-way contracts come in. First and foremost, we had Ade Murkey. He's a hometown kid from Minnesota. He played at St. Croix Lutheran and then went on to play at University of Denver. And we signed him to a 2-way. He didn't do much today. He had one impressive rebound, almost put back dunk, but it bounced out. Ashton Hagens from Kentucky on a 2-way. He played 2 years at Kentucky. He didn't really get to touch the ball. I think he may have brought the ball up once or twice, but it was pretty cool. Tyler Cook, someone who checked into the game today. I think he played for Denver and Cleveland for their G League teams and maybe the OKC Blue as well. He was a high energy guy, and I'm excited to see him in the next 2 preseason games because he was just going 100% all the time, which I love to see. Jaden McDaniels, our other rookie from this year, looked timid and was sloppy like the rest of our team today. So again, want to see more from him in the upcoming games. Let's give our credit to today's MVP, Jalen Noel. He made a barrage of 3-pointers, had impressive finishes in the lane, got to the line, shot some free throws, and I think he redeemed himself from the minutes he got from last year. Last year when he would check in here and there, he would just miss a ton of threes. Today we were able to see that he can improve. He shot 44% in the G League last year, would come into games and wouldn't make anything. So again, just a preseason game, doesn't mean too much. It's good for him though, because while Jordan McLaughlin remains unsigned, it means that the Timberwolves have an open spot at point guard, and I think that he's making a strong case for himself. I hope he gets it if he works hard and does well in these next couple of games. So all in all, we play Memphis at home again in a couple of days here. I want to see some minor improvement as far as pick and roll defense and Cat being able to hold his own. As far as our offense, we just need to take care of the ball and knock down our open shots. And we definitely have to make sure their points in the paint numbers go down. Second preseason game, I think we're going to see more of the 2-way guys and the people at the end of the bench. So just excited to see what more they can show us. So I'm hoping we can improve on those things. When we play Memphis again, we can hopefully walk away with a win. And the thing that I'm most excited for, I hope Anthony Edwards shows us his athleticism at peak, shows that he can attack at will. A fun fact before we end today's episode, in 2011 on December 12th, the Minnesota Timberwolves played the Denver Nuggets. Nikola Pekovic had 22 points and 11 rebounds. His biggest help was JJ Barea with 17 points and 8 assists. Kevin Love surprisingly only went 3 for 17 and had a pretty bad game. Yeah, we ended up winning that game on the backs of those 2 guys. So thank you, Peck and JJ, for what you did 9 years ago. Overall, we looked okay. Hopefully we can make some adjustments to clean things up and look better against Memphis in the next couple of days. If you guys like this video and subscribe to my channel, that would be awesome. This is HaTim taking off. Peace out, guys.